What's good, everybody? It's your man Big Time coming live and at you with a TruPlayaz podcast episode. Yes, we are live right now talking about Dave Chappelle getting attacked at a comedy show, as well as the Supreme Court's attempt to reverse Roe v. Wade. Got my host JoeyG and my special guest host James coming on the podcast. Stay tuned. You guys are going to enjoy this podcast. Stay tuned.
Too G'd up for love. I want you. I want you. Lady, I want you. Every time I see you, I just want to kiss you and hold you. Take you to my place, candlelight dinner. Then I start massaging your shoulder. Baby girl, let's just get out of here. Take a little flight. Let's get lost in love. Let's go. Ma, it's no problem to hold you, tongue stroke you, please you like I'm supposed to. Touch spots that ain't ever been touched, and I won't stop till both these squirrels get their nuts. Hey, you know it's good when we freakin', king size squeaking after I ease in. If you was with me, baby, 24/7, best believe that every single day would be a sweet day. Girl, you sweeter than a cheesecake. If you want beef, prophecy will be a beefcake. I make love to you till you fall asleep, leave you with sweet dreams between the sheets.
Twas the night before that night. I was born on that day, but not last night. Once upon a time, I had my cash right. Plug called, he ain't act right. I'm far from a slow nigga in this fast life. Pulled up, I got low, hit the black light. Once upon a time, slimy niggas catch a bad night. Went back.
What's good, everybody? We are back with a TruPlayaz podcast episode. Got my brother JoeyG. We got my brother James on, joining us for the first time in a long time. We've been trying to get James on the TruPlayaz podcast show for a minute. Yeah. So we about to get this podcast started. So let's start with JoeyG. Introduce yourself to the people, JoeyG.
Oh man, where do I begin? Beer Convo and Family, your host. You know that guy. That's me, the JoeyGomez. Your co-host for TruPlayaz podcast. You know, we talking the smack, walking the walk, and we're here to give you some information, different perspectives on how to look at things. Don't take my word for it. I'm just trying to give you a different perspective to look at. You take away what you want to take away from the situation. That's on you. I'm not here to change any minds. Just broaden your horizons, and that's about it for me.
Got you. And James, what's up? Let the people know who you are, man.
What's going on? What's going on? James L. coming at y'all, longtime friend of both JoeyG and Big Dom over here. Really, look, I'm just on here to, share my ideas and opinions. If you agree with me, dope. If not, oh well, you know what I'm saying? we can have some pleasant discourse, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm all about it. Me personally, I'm freelance associate producer doing a random different work out there. You can check out one joint I worked on for Complex, which is Top Gen. It's on YouTube right now, so feel free to go check that out. It's a game show where the generations battle each other on trivia, so it's pretty dope. Had a great time working on it, so check that out if you can.
Definitely. Thanks for we got to talk offline about that, James. For real.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So definitely, we'll get into it because we got to talk about some few subjects here. Dave Chappelle getting attacked at the comedy show, and also Roe v. Wade being reversed. And I want to speak about how certain things before those two things happened, probably, in my opinion, led to the course of them attempting. Well, Dave Chappelle being attacked at the comedy show, and then the Roe v. Wade decision. There's two different things that probably led as a domino effect to those two things to happen. So, in my opinion, with the Dave Chappelle situation, in my opinion, it goes back to what happened at the Oscars with Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. Because of that slap, it's enabled other patrons to be emboldened to go and do that to comedians if they don't like a joke that was made about them. So, what do you guys think? I'm gonna start with you, James. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, like you said, the incident with Will Smith and Chris Rock at the Oscars, I think was a prelude to this. And, we all knew something like this was going to end up happening. I think a lot of comedians were aware that something like this was probably going to end up happening. And, personally, you know, I when the Chris Rock Will Smith thing first kind of jumped off, my initial reaction, honestly, when I first saw it, it went like a wave. It was like he slapped him. I was like, oh, this is probably like, oh, this is probably some, you know, crazy like little thing that they planned out. And then there was the whole keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth, when everybody was like, oh, this is for real. You know what I'm saying? Right. And in that moment, it was like a few things happened. I was like, oh, I didn't know Will Smith was thorough like that. That's wild. Oh, I kind of got a new respect for him now. Oh. Right. And then there was the realization of the gravity of what had just happened. Like then that hit. Right. You know what I'm saying? It was the wait, no, that's not the right reaction to this. That was stupid. That was really stupid. Oh, fuck. That was really stupid. You know what I'm saying? It was like that wave. And so then it was like, when I saw the reaction that people had to it, that was the most disappointing thing to me.
Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't what he did. What he did was bad enough. It was the reaction that people had to it. This whole, you know, people jumping up. Oh, that's right. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. You say something, you get slapped. It's like, no, do y'all hear yourselves? Like, do you realize like what this does now? We already have an atmosphere in this country that's hostile towards comedians.
Yes.
Like, let me say that again. We live in an era where in this country, people are hostile towards comedians.
Right.
People who are supposed to entertain us and make us laugh. We're hostile towards them. I mean, that's so that's the atmosphere already. And then this thing with Will Smith and Chris Rock happens.
Right.
It's like you just know, like, this is a bad precedent that's being set. Yeah, this is a real bad precedent that's being set. And I'm gonna say more, but go ahead. I want to let Joey speak on it as well.
Nice.
You're good. You're good. You hit the key points. I was like, keep him speaking. I sit back, drink my beer. I'm entertained right now. Fuck this.
Well, I mean, the main other thing that I wanted to bring up, like, there was a specific reaction that I saw that bothered me, and like, this is a thing that's kind of been bothering me for a little bit. You know, this idea that Black men don't protect Black women.
Right.
You know, this is something that I've been seeing repeated by a lot more Black women, like more and more recently.
Right.
And I understand where it comes from. I do. I really do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's dangerous out there. Like, it is. It's just a fact. It's dangerous out there.
Right.
But I feel like when we start putting out there that Black men all as a total don't care about Black women, that's dangerous.
It is.
I don't believe it. I don't think it's true, because I've personally in my life have just seen too much evidence to the contrary. And I get how someone else's reality may be different. I get how someone else's experience of life may be different. And I don't want to invalidate that. But I with the experiences that I've had in my life and the things that I've seen in my life, I can't co-sign that. I can't say, no, Black men, we don't give a fuck about Black women. We just willing to let whatever happen to them. I can't co-sign that. And so for so many Black women to co-sign what Will Smith did, you're co-signing violence from one Black man against another Black man off of a joke.
Right.
Like, this is dangerous. These are dangerous precedents that we're setting. Our babies are watching these things. They're watching how we respond to these things.
Right.
And this is a dangerous precedent to set. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were moving in a great direction when talking about toxic masculinity and really addressing that whole thing and really kind of getting at the more dangerous aspects of I don't even call it toxic masculinity. It's more like just that machismo, that idea that, you know what I'm saying, because I'm a man, raw, this and this and that. Okay, that works for some people, but not everybody. You can't be like that with everybody. And I feel like we were moving in a good direction with that. And then this whole incident knocked that all the way back. You know what I'm saying? In the reverse direction, to where the conversation now is changed. You know what I'm saying? And again, this whole incident with Dave Chappelle and him getting attacked on stage, it's a symptom of a broader problem, I think, that's growing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let me ask you a question. Because of the incident that happened with Will Smith and Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle was highly prepared for that situation that happened to him. And key note is, you look at the guy who attacked him, how he ended up.
Yeah.
He was lucky enough to leave with his life.
Yeah.
Lucky enough he just had his arm broken.
Understand who was in the audience, though. Understand who was in the audience, though.
Yeah.
Yo,
Very big difference.
He had his people. He had his peoples, his peers in the audience. Right. His fans, his brothers were in the audience. Oh, you gonna just come up on stage like you got it like that? Let me show you something. I've never in my life heard Jamie Foxx has run to the stage. Word? Listen, last time I heard about him was him and LL, so we've seen how that played out. But to see him stand up in that situation and move and react, that was cool. You had some other people that were there, and that's not surprising to me. That's not surprising to me. From where we come from, we know that to be true. Like, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. Like, oh, you ran up on such and such, now you getting stomped out. And the evidence was all over his face. I was just like, yo, yeah, we seen him cuff, but ain't nobody seen an arm like this.
Nah.
Yo, I was just like, yo, they broke his shit.
Everybody's looking at like, arms don't go that way.
Charlemagne was like, yo, that dude has 2 left hands.
But I forgot the joke that Dave Chappelle said though. It was funny. I remember his expression. But Dave Chappelle is not a small dude, first of all.
No, and the tackle was not successful at
all. It was like Gilbert trying to spear the Big Show or some shit.
Like, what are you doing?
Fuck your spear, nigga.
Right.
Fuck your spear.
Fuck your spear. But check this out though, and this is where Chris Rock shows his face, right?
Yeah, Chris Rock was there. He was performing also. It was earlier. He came back up on stage because he heard what was going on.
Yep.
Go ahead, continue.
The thing about comedians, they all stand up for each other, whether it was Mike Epps, George Wallace.
It's a brotherhood up there.
Everybody was stood up for Chris Rock. Right. Everyone was saying that no one checked on him. Right. Everyone was so concerned about Will Smith, but they weren't checking on Chris Rock. Chris Rock has been documented as being bullied in school.
Right.
Who had went through some trauma growing up. You know what I'm saying? Right. To have another man smack him, even though me and JoeyG spoke about it offline yesterday, how he kind of glanced out the way for that smack where everybody thought it was fake.
Nah.
But, you know.
Nah.
Ain't nobody gonna take a smack on that, no matter.
No. The last minute reaction that I seen was just like, oh, he's really coming.
Right.
Like, he's really coming for that. Because you didn't hear the pop. You hear a pop and you hear the clap.
Yeah.
You didn't hear the clap. You heard the pop because it was there. But he moved with it, so it didn't damage, and you would have seen evidence on the face. You did not see that.
Yeah.
And the reaction at the same time was the clenched fist.
Yeah.
If you notice, he had a clenched fist, I'm coming back with one.
Yeah. He stepped forward and he pulled back.
Right.
But he was, but you know what it is too. The stupidity. Yeah, but you know what? In that moment of time, a moment of shock, of an action reaction, Chris Rock remembered his pockets.
He remembered his pockets. He remembered where he was at. He got to be composed. He's in front of his family.
Mhm.
His daughter is in the audience.
And that's enough for you to snap, for you to have another man slap you in front of your daughter.
Right. But if you're able to take all of that and compose yourself and continue your job the way he did, I commend you for that.
Oh, absolutely.
I commend you for that. Like you're a true professional in that aspect. I don't care about he's a bitch because he got slapped. I don't care about none of that because it's invalid. You're in a workplace environment. Number one, you got to protect your pockets. Number two, your family is in the audience. You represent them and they represent you. So, in the end of the day, you're walking away with your dignity, regardless of how other people feel about the situation.
True.
Yeah.
As far as the Academy is concerned, I feel they failed in that situation where with security didn't come and escort Will Smith off the stage or bring him backstage, and they allowed him to get his award. They allowed him to make a fucking long ass speech for no apparent reason. Ain't nobody want to hear that after that. You're making an apology as you're accepting an award in front of a family that's the movie was pretty much a dedication to their father. I mean that in itself was just like that whole moment was it was done. Now we rewind to the beginning of the program where you have black nominees that were actually getting awards. We had first timer. We had Samuel Jackson get his first. His first, and was who was Denzel Washington was the one who gave him the award. That was a big moment on TV right there. That was a big moment. Somebody significant that had one was giving it to somebody who didn't, his first. After 175 movies. That's big.
Yeah.
Listen.
Questlove with his documentary. Summer Solstice. Am I correct in saying that? Summer of Soul. Summer of Soul. His first. There was probably other people there. I didn't really go through the whole thing, but what I'm saying is that those moments were outshined by that slap. Now we rewind even further. Before that, we knew going to the Oscars, we would get nominated for stuff, but we ain't winning that.
Right.
We ain't winning that. Wasn't that what Will and Jada were trying to boycott the year before? Right.
Well,
you come to the show the next year, now you show your ass.
Right.
Now, the Academy, in one term, we're going to punish him. At the same time, we're going to make an example. 2 for 1. This is why we haven't.
We know as people of our ilk, when we do something stupid like that, we're always going to be made the example. And
it's their venue, though. Let's be clear about that. It's their venue.
Of course. But listen, what we fail to realize is we always try to show off at the wrong time.
True.
We don't show off at the right time. And the thing is too is the reason why I mentioned Chris Rock in that incident was because during that Dave Chappelle, after they cleared the stage and you see Chris Rock slide in there, was that Will Smith? And the reason why I mentioned that is now people said that Chris Rock was quiet.
No.
He is starting to awaken.
No,
and I promise you,
he let the time. He did it right. He did it right. He did it right. He waited for the dust to settle. Oh, you thought I forgot? Nah.
And
nah. Now that I've talked to my family, now that I've talked to everybody in my circle on how I want to handle this, we can move forward the way I see fit. Watch the sparks after this point.
Let me tell you something right now. I feel bad for Will Smith in a certain way because he's been emasculated enough. But for a woman who don't give two shits about him, But now, let me tell you something right now. Chris Rock's about to rock Mjolnir and drop that hammer on him. He's gonna end him. He's gonna end him because when you get stopped across your face in front of your two daughters in the audience in the Oscar Awards where millions of people are watching it, and his reaction was too quiet for me. It was like the quiet storm. Like the storm came so quiet. Now the storm is coming to the surface. Chris Rock is coming at Will Smith with no mercy. It's gonna happen.
Yo,
every comedy show.
Yo, he caught himself in the midst of his teleprompter. He was just like, I could say so much. Oh, hold on. like he was about to go there.
Yeah,
we would have saw the old Chris Rock surface. That old one, like, nah, fuck that. He was coming. I heard it in his voice, but he composed himself. He was like, oh, yeah, we here.
This is the Oscars. Right. You have the Oscars, Chris. You have the Oscars.
Right.
That
scene.
Listen, that Mjolnir, that Stonebreaker is coming from Will Smith's ass.
No, it's coming.
It's coming.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And Will Smith's gonna regret doing that shit. What he did to Chris Rock. You know what I'm saying? That he's starting. He's starting. And I guarantee you, every single show that Chris Rock does, Will Smith will be the subject of his comedy show. It's going to start.
Accidentally. Accidentally.
He's gonna rip him a whole two ass because I believe those guys were friends before the incident, right? They were friends before the incident, or they were cordial?
I don't think so. No. I think there was, because I know there was another joke that Chris Rock had made about Jada like years prior. I can't remember what it.
No, it was pertaining to the Oscars and them boycotting it. He was like, "Well, nobody invited you."
Right. That's
like, how are you going to boycott the Oscars when you weren't invited? Like, that doesn't make sense.
But I heard that. But I remember reading something that Will Smith like felt the way about that. Like there was supposedly something that he said or something like that in response to something. But I don't remember specifically though. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to.
Right.
I'm gonna say something to you. I'm gonna say something to you guys. I've never been married, so I don't know what it is to be married. I just know from what I see from my parents.
Me neither.
For 40 years of being together, is that when you're a married couple, your job is to protect each other, not just one protecting one more than the other. Your job is to protect each other at all costs,
especially in those moments.
Especially,
I don't mean to cut you off. I hear my wife's voice in my head when she was talking about this situation, saying the same thing. Like, yo, if I knew you were gonna come out of pocket, I would have pulled you to the side and be like, "This is not the time or place." That's what should have happened. Like, we could have pulled him to the side and talked to him after, did whatever you wanted to do after. We weren't in front of your peers and the cameras. This is not the time. This is not the place.
Exactly. Protect your pockets first, then address it in the backstage verbally. If you want to knock him out backstage without the cameras rolling,
without witness,
it's all good. It's all good, but you gotta protect your pockets. Your pockets that you work hard to make, to maintain, and grow from there. This man,
you showing me Philly is reckless. That's what you showing me. Listen, Philly is reckless.
Let me tell you something. Philly's like my second home. I got a big contingent of family in Philadelphia right now. We all know how reckless. We all know how crazy Philly. They say Philly's a brotherly love, the city of brotherly love. That's a brotherly of beatdown right there, yo. They will kick your ass for no reason. Don't go there with a Giants jersey.
It's a wrap.
There's a reason why they got a precinct in Lincoln Financial Stadium. There's a reason for that.
Listen.
In the basement. With hotels.
You're in the lobby.
we think us New Yorkers are hardcore. Nah, go to Philly.
Nah. I've been to Philly, and it's intimidating in some areas. It's intimidating, but if you have New York sense, You can move. You can move, bro.
I was protected. I was protected because I got family in Philly, so I was protected.
Listen,
but, you know,
I move with New York sense anywhere that I go.
But you
That
gotta be
common
careful.
sense that, you know, keep it moving, bro. Keep it moving.
Listen, this
Don't
place
got
is.
time to talk.
Let me tell you something. This place is rougher than, and I'm not saying rougher than New York, but this place is just as gangster as New York. You got Philly,
Yeah.
You got Boston,
Boston.
Boston,
Mash.
yeah, Boston,
Mash.
Chicago. Be careful when you go up in them parts. Your New York sense got to be on fleek when you're out in them cities.
I've been.
There's something that I've learned from being in the random different places that I've found myself in.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere has somewhere that you don't want to be at
Right.
some point. You know what I'm saying? Every state,
time to go.
You know what I'm saying? Everywhere got somewhere in it that you don't want to be at certain points. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter where. Joe got a point. Like, there's a certain New York sense, like, but there's a sense that you have, like, it's like, all right,
that spider sense that tingles, bro.
Right? You're like, all right, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here too much longer than what I am right now. I need to keep it moving.
I'm gonna give you a glimpse of Jacksonville real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
you got me sweating when you say Jacksonville right now, man.
J Actionville.
This dude was Spanish. He happened to be Puerto Rican. Was like, yo, I'm going to the spot real quick. I gotta go get something. You just gonna come with me. Don't say nothing. Just walk with me. We're gonna go into this spot, get what I gotta get, and then we're gonna leave. Okay, cool. We pull up to this trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Pull up to this trailer. Was it? Yeah, it was like a trailer house, because they have trailers, but they also have trailer houses. So it was a converted trailer house.
Mm-hmm.
So we pull up into the house. I'm like, okay, cool. Walk through the door. I'm like, it's not too shady that the dude has like multiple chains on the fucking front door. I come from New York. We bolt the front doors. You know what I'm saying? Clack, 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 clack. We good.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed as I'm walking down the hallway, all doors are closed.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
I get to the end of the hallway. There's somebody standing here. There's somebody standing here. And there's a dude inviting me there. I don't like this. Get into the room. Yo, let me get that thing. Is that dude fucking smoking right there? Did that motherfuckers? Did you bring? Oh, hell no! Hell no! I turn around. Kadoo. Doors closed. You ain't going nowhere. Guess where I was? I was in my first trap house. Guess why they call it a trap house?
The trap house. Oh my goodness! You end up in a hole somewhere. In Miami, it was a joke that my first time in Miami, when my cousins took me to Miami, there was a situation where people just roll up with you. You come here, you're gonna meet some girls and stuff like that. Them dudes tell me, yo, don't do it. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? And I learned my lesson. You end up getting robbed or getting mutilated or raped or some shit. You don't want to do that shit. You do that shit. But now, as we,
my bad. Go ahead, Tom.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you know where I go when I go to Miami? South Beach.
Oh,
that's it.
Well,
South Beach.
You can get got in South Beach.
If you go anywhere outside of South Beach, you got a risk. You're just running your own risk. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can go to Coco's, King of Diamonds, have a good time. I ain't gonna fight. Go do your thing. But I'm just saying.
The Office. Let's go I want to go to The Office. That was new trying to open down there too.
Oh, The Office.
The Office.
I think my homeboy from down there, he was telling me about that spot.
Yes. Oh man, listen, we could do a podcast about strip clubs. I'll tell you all the strip club stories I have.
Ooh, it's been a while for me, but yeah.
Saucy stories from Wiggles and TOH A whole lot of stories. GQ was a whole lot of stories, man. A lot of stories. A lot of stories. A lot of stories. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay for admission to listen to me to give that podcast. I don't have to pay
I'm gonna take my time. Me too.
You know what I'm saying? I brought one of our classmates from Unit High School to TOH, man. I was about to get some in the basement and stuff, and this dude was out here just getting hooling and hollered upstairs, yo. I was like, what the hell's going on? but
let me see if you know who this is. My asthma.
Oh no! That was no, not that one. Not that one.
But he knows.
It was a football player. It was the football player. The ultimate.
He knows
player.
who it is, though. I know who that one was.
Yeah. The ultimate football.
And he
player.
definitely knows because he plays football.
That's my brother too, yo. That's my brother too. I don't see my man. When my man met my father, I thought my father was gonna have a heart attack, yo. Both of them guys was hyped. They got excited and fired up. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with it? What's wrong? What's going on here? They're like kindred spirits. Both yelling loud and shit. You play football? Yeah, I play football. Okay. I was like, God damn, yo.
Why is it so loud?
Why are you yelling, yo?
We inside.
Both are yelling.
We inside. Calm it down, sir.
I'm like, oh my God. But you know what? So we always get off track, but let's get on to. Every time the thing is what James will do with you. James will realize it when we do a podcast, TruPlayaz podcast, we always come up with new topics in the middle of the show that we gotta now put it aside and talk about it on another podcast.
This is how Beer Convo and Family was founded.
Exactly. But I was at a point when I did this podcast in which I was working somewhere and in the interest of protecting my income, I had to resort to not speak about certain inoculations and stuff. So I had to, in the interest of protecting my income, as Vince McMahon said, in the interest of fairness, I had to keep my mouth shut. But now I'm no longer with them, thanks to the governor of New York.
Right.
Oh, let's get on to Roe V Wade possible reversal leak of the Supreme Court. I don't want to end up on the FBI's most sought after list.
He won't say it, but I'll say it. Some of my bitch.
Satan worship.
Hey,
we're not gonna say that out loud.
I ain't scared of you.
We saw the black wings coming up. Lucifer spawn. No, okay. Let's get.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Roe v. Wade.
Roe v. Wade. What do you guys feel about that? And I'm gonna give my statement in regards to that, because the Roe v. Wade decision. You know, I'm gonna speak from a sense of I'm a Catholic man. You know, I'm not a religious Catholic. I'm a spiritual Catholic. There's a difference. There's a very big difference between the two. Mm-hmm. I'm not for abortion. Okay. But I'm all for having women the right to do what they have to do with their bodies by the end of the day. If I was in the seat of presidency, I would not allow abortion unless it's under the guise of rape or a guise of sexual abuse. Then I would allow it legally. Right. Legally, I have to. It was against their will to sleep with that guy or whatever person who raped them. It was against their will. Now, if you have the opportunity, you sleep with somebody with your consent, and either the guy forgot to pull out, the guy didn't put the condom on. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You, as a woman, has the right to tell that man to put that condom on or not have or sleep with him. No. So why should you? You know, I'm about to have a lot of women angry at me right now. So I'm gonna keep it real, because you know a lot of posts on Facebook I've seen over the past today. The problem is the man's penis. No, it's not. It's you. It's you too. It takes two to make a baby. If you let a man skeet inside you, that's your fault too.
If you don't open your doors, where we going?
You know what I'm saying? It's as real as day.
Let's keep that shit 100. If you don't open your doors, where are we going?
we need to stop making it. We stop. So we need to, the problem is we live in a society that everything that goes wrong with the world is the man's fault. Everything that goes wrong in this world is the man's fault. We need to cut that bullshit out for once. All right? We need to cut that bullshit out for once. And everyone needs to accept responsibility. Everyone, not just one party. Everyone needs to accept responsibility. Yeah. But it doesn't take away the fact that people our rights are being taken away. Their rights of controlling doing stuff to their body is taken out of their hands now. This is the issue right now. And the setup
also having a safe place to do it.
Yeah.
Let's be clear, because people were doing abortions way before they had clinics to do it. That was unsafe, unsanitary, and they were hurting themselves. Long term, probably not being able to carry a child after the fact. So the safe space was created in order for them to do it safely and be able to have children at a later time and date. It may not have been the ideal time for them to have the child at that specific moment in time. So that's another issue. They don't even bring that spectrum into the place. I think Whoopi Goldberg was the first one to say, like, she was stepping over people in the bathroom that were doing that to themselves. That's crazy. That's a crazy sight.
Yeah. There's a pill that does that. There's an abortion pill that does that too.
That came out after.
But what this funny part is, the abortion clinics, the Planned Parenthoods, all that stuff. It's like that's a safe place to have an abortion. But then again, you take away a woman's right to have a safe place to have an abortion, but you're providing a safe place for people to use heroin. Does that make sense? Does that make fucking sense?
Which one of the addictive drugs? They have morphine clinics also, so I don't
morphine clinics.
I don't understand that.
Well, here's my thing when it comes to, and just speaking specifically on, like the drug clinics and stuff like that. I'm about science. You know what I'm saying? If you're telling me that you're opening up a spot where people can safely come and do heroin, on hearing that, I'm like, what? Like, if you come to me and say this has been tested in other countries and they've shown that the people that go to these places, one, over time are more likely to stop using completely, you know what I'm saying? And two, you have much of a less chance of people overdosing and dying, which means they at least live to get the chance to get off of it. That's better than what we've been doing, which is throwing people in jail and them going wild and, you know what I'm saying, hurting themselves and other people. You know what I'm saying? So, again, on hearing, I had the same initial reaction, but then, again, when the other side of the argument was presented, I'm like, again, if it turns out that all of that research and all of those outcomes are false and it's bullshit and it really doesn't help, then okay, I'm definitely gonna be like, that's a stupid fucking idea. But if it works and it's proven to work, then I'm like, then you really need to think about that. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just going with the knee-jerk reaction of that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So that's my opinion on that specifically.
It sounds crazy. When you think about it, it does sound crazy right off top. Yes, it does reduce the amount of deaths and robberies and other side effects to that. I'm concerned you're trading in one for the other. Like there's heroin clinics and there's also methadone clinics. Like methadone, that shit is it grabs you. I've had patches that I would put on my back to take away the pain that I get in my back sometimes, and within a couple days of using, and we're talking about regulated use, even though it wasn't subscribed to me. My hands were shaking, bro. Like my body was literally telling me, give me some more. I'm done. Like, no, fuck this. Ever since then, those type of drugs, not in my system. I can't do it. We're going to have to find another way, whether it be a chiropractor, yoga, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do something else.
I feel you. I dig it, bro. Like I I completely understand where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just like, if there's an alternative to
Yeah.
that has the same results or better,
Right.
I'm all about it.
That's what I
But
want to hear. I want to hear.
ultimately,
I want to
people
hear.
are going to do it anyway. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Right. I
and
understand.
that kind of brings it right back to abortion and what I was saying just before we started the broadcast. You're not going to stop abortions. You're never going to stop abortions from happening. You're only going to stop safe abortions from happening.
Right,
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? And you know, as far as my personal stance on it, you know, I had one view when I was younger, and just life and experience just changed that. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And so I understand, Dom, your perspective, because I grew up having that perspective of abortion is just wrong. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I was against it myself until life kicked me in the ass on way more than one occasion. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
even
why.
beyond that, even
Hold
beyond
on. Too much.
my own personal experiences, just the conversations that I've had with women that have gone through things, and it's just like, okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? So I know that you're never going to stop abortions. That again, you're just going to stop them from being safe. And it's like the image that's always seared in my mind. I don't remember what book it was, but I must have been like 14 or 15. And there was like some book that I had to read. I don't know if it was for school or just a book that I was reading. But I remember in the book, they described this woman who was going to somebody to get an abortion. And it was like old timey, like in like the, not old timey, but you know what I'm saying? It was like 30s, 40s, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Poor black, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get this done somewhere, you know what I'm saying? In a back alley. And they were like, you know, this woman started heating up a coat hanger.
Hey,
And
yeah.
that, I don't have a vagina, but the image of a hot coat hanger going into one, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, nah, nah.
I don't want to see that. You know,
If Roe v. Wade stops that from happening, fuck whatever my personal opinion on abortion is. I'm all for it.
Right.
Because it stopped that from happening. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's important. That's what's important. But again, at the end of the day, the whole abortion thing, this whole Roe v. Wade thing has nothing to do with abortion or babies or any of that. But
no.
Yeah.
But this is my whole point in regards to this situation. Yeah, I'm against abortion, but if it's something that's a person's choice, and if we're a country of the land of free, home of the brave, everyone should have a choice what to do with their body.
Right.
If that's what we're supposed to be, we should also have a choice. And this was tested on us with the vaccine mandate for COVID. That's where the test came from. We failed that test. We gave our freedoms of our choice and our bodies to that. And then now this is what happened. This is the domino effect that happens that now slides on now you can tell a woman now she has no control of her body.
Right.
It may not be the same thing, but it's along the lines of personal choice.
Right.
As long as you do the right thing, you should be able to have your own choice in the matter. It shouldn't cost you anything. You know what I'm saying? So what do you guys feel about that point? What do you guys feel about that?
I mean, I feel you have a valid point as far as that's concerned. It's always been it should be a personal choice regardless of the situation. State or government shouldn't interfere with the thought process in that. The decision making process in that is hard enough, but to have an outsider that really has no stake in your life to come and tell you what you can or cannot do, nah, I'm not. I can't co-sign that part. I understand where James is coming from. Yeah, the safe part is where we need to be. We need to be on that safe part. If it's going to be a safer instance where we can do this and everybody is good afterwards, then okay, it's none of my business to begin with, but I'm glad you're all right after the situation. Granted, yeah, we're gonna talk about religion and everything like that. Oh, the child is not gonna be in this world. Maybe they're better off not being in the world at this time because they weren't ready for that situation. Are we going to take the burden of that and take the child and put her in someplace else? We don't know what's going to happen to that child after the fact. You're assuming that everything is going to be perfect for that child after the fact. We don't know that. We don't know where you place the child after that fact. What's going to happen to them? There's been many foster homes and things like that where children have been abused and taken advantage of just for a paycheck. So let's not go there
Or they
with the
end up,
situation.
or they end up somewhere in the cove or something. You know.
Mhm.
What I'm saying?
Well, ultimately, I think the abortion issue, I think as far as people in this country who are actually against abortion, I personally believe that that's a smaller number than what people really think it is. You know what I'm saying? Like even among Republicans,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Because they've done polls, like 2/3 of Republicans think that that Roe v. Wade shouldn't be overturned.
Right.
So it's not us. It's not everyone. I think is on the same page for the most part. You know what I'm saying with this.
Mm-hmm.
But again, this abortion thing is not about abortion. It's about the Republic. It's about the Republican Party seeing how far right they can push and keep their voter base. That's what it's about. Right now, that's what it's about. Maybe a long time ago, the abortion issue was different, but by now, the people are pretty much on common ground with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is all a political move. It's a political move. They're flexing. They're saying that we put our people in place.
Right.
Look at what we can do. Right. And if their voters back it, then you're going to see more of these things. You're going to see more of these far-right extreme views being turned into legislation. That's what's going to happen.
Well, we've seen a lot of far-right views turned to legislation from the Democratic Party as well. Look at New York State and the mandate.
Well, okay.
So you know what I'm saying? So come on, they set up they set up the previous governor said he was sexually harassing all these women because he was singing to them over the goddamn phone because they know damn well he wasn't gonna follow that damn mandate bullshit. And they bring this demonic little fool Lucifer's daughter in, and that she going in and doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry if I'm going out of place. I'm telling you real shit. The same motherfucker. So part of my language, I'm getting starting to curse right now. I'm getting really intense right now with the situation. These same motherfuckers out there fighting for pro-life, or the same motherfuckers in the front line saying you should get vaccinated. And that's straight facts. Let's cut the bullshit with the hypocrisy. First of all,
can I give you a different angle on that too?
Get in there.
As far as the pro-lifers are concerned, where were they when we were talking about Black Lives Matter? I'm just saying, we're going to be pro-life. Let's be pro-life across the board. Where y'all at?
Listen, if you're going to be pro-life and pro-choice, let's be pro-life, pro-choice across the board as well.
That's what I was saying.
That's
saying
right.
if you can't just pick and choose what battles we're going to fight.
Division, man.
Okay.
Division.
Okay.
Unpack it, James. Unpack it,
James. Why we back on the show, bro?
Here's my thing with the mandate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
From a public safety standpoint, right? Let's do perfect world scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect world scenario. You have a virus or something like this, or a pandemic, similar to COVID, and you have scientists develop. Say again.
An outbreak.
Right, an outbreak, exactly. And you have scientists develop, a vaccine that actually stops it, that cuts it off, stops it cold, right?
Right.
But you have people that are saying they don't want to take it because of XYZ reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is a virus that is killing people, factually killing people.
Right.
What do you do as a government? What do you do? How do you respond?
I mean, if you're saying it's clinically stopping it,
right? I'm saying this. I'm saying
one and done.
Evidence. Listen, if that was
evidence points to it with one and done, we good.
Like I told you,
I'm ready to go. Let's get this.
Like I told you before, if there's a vaccine for super soldier serum, I'll be the first in line. I will fight everybody to be the front line to get that super soldier vaccine. Give me the Captain America vaccine right now. I'll be front and center. But you can sit there and tell me. And then the point is about the vaccine. We'll get into that real quick. You have to change the definition of the vaccine for it to be mandated. That's what happened. They changed the definition of a vaccine to make sure they can mandate this vaccine.
And this vaccine it wasn't considered a vaccine. The Pfizer thing was not considered a vaccine.
Listen,
they pushed the hell out of that bitch.
Listen, we spoke offline before we started.
Y'all put Queen Latifah on a commercial with Pfizer. I don't want to hear from y'all.
We spoke about this before we started the podcast. We had measles, mumps, rubella vaccine.
True.
For people who took the vaccine, it eradicated it. Polio, you took the vaccine for polio, it eradicated. Took the vaccine for smallpox, it eradicated it. Now you're sitting there telling me that this vaccine here, all it does is keep you from going to the ICU, and I'm supposed to take that with all the side effects that's going on there. And this is the people's arguments. You didn't know what they put in the other vaccines either. But you know what those other vaccines did? They prevented me from getting it. They prevented me from passing it on. So I'll be able to look past the side effects because it stopped me from getting those things. But I can look past the side effects of this vaccine if it's not stopping me from getting it or from me giving it to somebody else. I can't.
Now, okay, so now I'll say, just as far as my understanding of it, right at the time I want to say the first Pfizer vaccine came out. As I understood it, it stopped that particular mutation of COVID, and then the virus mutated, and then they were trying to come up with something that stopped, what it mutated to. That was how I understood it. You know what I'm saying? And if I was wrong about that, then I was wrong about it. But at least when I went and from the literature and everything that I read about, that was what I understood. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what a lot of people understood. And so when you had people who were like, fuck that, I'm not gonna take that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stick bleach in my veins and ultraviolet rays because the president said so. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, y'all niggas do you, but I'm gonna go with the shit they are saying is gonna prevent me from getting this shit. You know what I'm saying? And then when it mutated, they were like, okay, well, they're trying to come up with a booster. If you've had the previous vaccination, there's less of a chance that you will get the newer mutated virus, but there's no guarantees. And I understood that. I was like, okay, I can deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And then they came out with the booster, and the booster supposedly, stop whatever. But see, the thing is, here was what I always understood.
Here's the plus one.
The fourth one. Huh? So we have the fourth booster.
We're on the fourth booster.
Oh, see, by the time I got it, it was at like the third of. I think it was at like the third one.
The third one.
You know what I'm saying?
I think Israel's on 6 right now, but we won't talk about Israel right now. But anyway.
But at the same time, I mean, is that the nature of the kind of virus that it is, or is it that people are lying about what the vaccines do? You know what I'm saying?
That part.
It's difficult for me to say without being like, if I was Big Joe, who was a biochemist, you know what I'm saying? If I was him, then I could sit here and be like, yo, this is what this shit does to your body. This is what happens when it goes into, you know what I'm saying? 100%, then I can sit here and speak with confidence about all of that. But I can't. All I can say is this is what I understood at the time when they were saying that this is, these were the vaccines that they had. And
Right,
you had gangs of people who, regardless of what the science was saying, whether it worked or not, they were like, yo, fuck you, I'm not gonna take it. I'm just gonna go fuck all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And like y'all said, we already have a piss poor healthcare system in the United States. We pretend it's the best in the world, and it's fucking shit because it only really works for people that got money. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, everybody got fucking sick. You know what I'm saying? And whether the vaccine stops it or is at least a preventative measure. If it helps a little bit, okay. If it hurts, okay, then that's a problem, absolutely. But if it helps a little bit, I'm all for it until we can find something that gets rid of it. But if people are gonna take even just a measure, any measure, and say fuck you to it, meanwhile, saying fuck you means going out and going out in groups of tons of people and passing the shit around. The shit's mutating because it's in 100 different environments.
True.
I just kind of feel like, what are you as a government, what are you gonna do if this thing is killing people? You know what I'm saying? You can say all day that the wild conspiracy theories that are out there, and I'm not saying that y'all are saying that. I'm just saying with all the crazy conspiracy theories that's out there, the government doesn't. There's no benefit to killing mass amounts of people. There's no benefit to that. No government benefits from just deciding, all right, we're gonna kill a whole bunch of people, or if there's a virus that's killing people, we're just gonna let everybody die. There's no benefit to that. You know what I'm saying?
The only thing I can think of in that scenario, like, and you got to think outside the box, and I normally try to do that.
Mm-hmm.
If we're getting rid of people who should have died after the age of 80, we let them go. We give them the virus, we let them go. That opens up a tier for everybody to shift as far as money is concerned. We're no longer paying SSI checks and things of that nature. We're not paying for health care after that point. All that money is going back into the economy and it's still circulating. So when we're talking about a form of population control, which it kind of is, this is how we dwindle down the numbers and we get back on track the way we need to be, because we know the younger generations are the ones that are generating the money. The ones that are older are collecting.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have that problem. Now I'm thinking from that standpoint, if I'm trying to get more money, I got to get rid of these people so I can keep generating money from these people to keep the system rolling the way it needs to be rolling. And if there's too many people sitting and we're bleeding money over here, then I have to cut that off. That's the other perspective. I know it's a conspiracy theory, if you will, but it's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. It's there, and this is why certain things happen for that movement to go forward. I know it's not. I don't have any facts. I don't have any proven data or anything like that, but I can see how we do that. Because if I'm greedy and I want that money, I'm gonna make that happen. Like, yo, you making money? Okay, we good. You
Mm-hmm.
okay? But you not? Oh, we gotta get rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about that, regardless of how we look at it. When it comes down to wars, everything like that, natural resources, we're so quick to take natural resources than we are to give natural resources. And if we do give natural resources, there's a tax on that.
Mm-hmm.
Guarantee we're taxing the hell out of people for that. Oh, you want that? We could give you that, but we're gonna have to tax you. So, like, another, we're talking about Ukraine and Russia. I don't understand it. Ukraine is about this small. Russia's is fucking huge compared to the Ukraine. When we were growing up and going through elementary school, I believe that Russia, our dealings with Russia was with Gorbachev, and at that time, the Great Wall went down. Both sides of Russia now became one. Okay, whatever beef that we had with Russia was squashed. Years later, fuck Russia, we protecting the Ukraine. Why?
It's just like Afghanistan, bro. It's a proxy war. It's actually us versus Russia. Except, you know what I'm saying? We can't, because look at it. How many other countries have you seen invaded by some random country, and here comes the U.S.? Oh no, you can't do that. Russia goes ahead and invades tiny ass Ukraine, who's our known ally. We're a specific ally. Have you seen the U.S. say anything about, hey, we're coming in? No.
Right.
Of course not. Of course not. But we're going to send money. We're going to send weapons. We're going to, you know what I'm saying? It's all proxy. You know what I'm saying? It's a push. It's like the same thing shit the Republicans are doing. It's a push. What can I get away with? It's just the Russians doing it. What can we get away with? You know what I'm saying? Is China if anybody comes back at us, is China gonna be in our pocket? Are they gonna be with us? Or are they gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Or are they gonna not do anything?
No, we still owe them money. So no, they're not. They're not. I'm gonna let you know that right now. China is just like, nah, you owe us money, bro.
the world's controlled. The world's controlled by money. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is all. Everything is about. You know, everything is about money, bro. You know what I'm saying? And
money and resources.
And it's funny. And it's funny because
we've talked about this.
We've talked about this many times,
Haiti.
man. Oh, listen,
we've talked about it.
Listen.
Natural resources, they want it. Nigga, you ain't giving it to me. We're gonna make some things happen.
Yeah, we're gonna make earthquakes.
You never had an earthquake. Let me show you something.
Earthquakes kill presidents and all that type of shit. But I mean, listen, shithole country, right? Same shithole country that freed this country. Remember that. People forget.
Listen, I felt Wyclef should have been president.
You know what it is? Know what it is, bro. Know what it is too.
Go ahead, bro.
People don't realize certain things. Certain countries are built to be run as a dictatorship, not as a democracy.
True.
Not every country is built to run a democracy because of the people that live in that country. When you deal with a bunch of strong-willed people, democracy will not work. Democracy only works for the weak-minded people.
True.
You tell a Haitian person that it's run for the people, run by the people. Every single Haitian person in that country will say that I'm president.
Mm-hmm.
You need to do what I tell you to do. And that's what creates conflict. So you need
that's where America's getting right now.
You know what I'm saying? Now you need a strong arm. You need a strong arm president. Everyone's dissing this president. You know, saying his regime was bad for over 30 years. His family regime was bad for the country. Now look what everybody's saying right now. Well, maybe he wasn't that bad after all.
They said the same thing about Castro.
Maybe he wasn't that bad after all.
Free healthcare, free education.
You know, a lot of people died under that family's watch. Yeah, because you said some shit about the family that came after you. My father told me one thing: don't say nothing about them. Don't keep your mouth shut. Don't say nothing about them. You're good. But at least you're able to stand in front of your house, count your money in the street without somebody worried about somebody coming in your house at 2:30 in the morning to kill you or kidnap you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't do that now down there. People are starving for gas, starving for food right now, at an alarming rate. But yet we giving almost $800. How many $1 billion we're giving to Ukraine for weapons?
We're giving money we don't have. Didn't we just have a deficit not too long ago?
No.
You always got money for war, bro. You come on, you know better.
Listen,
know better. There's always money for war.
First of all, we already know. Me and you already know. If there's a war, there's money to be made.
Listen, the thing is that I got friends who are Ukrainian, I got friends who are Russian. You know what I'm saying? I got friends from both sides of the fence.
Yeah.
People ask me to stand with Ukraine. Honestly, I can look them dead in the eye and say I cannot do that because my parents' country didn't get that support. Actually, my parents' country is being punished for showing superiority of a black man. You know what I'm saying? So I can't sit there and say that. I can't support you.
The most powerful thing I've seen is Farrakhan show up and make an address in Haiti. And I was just like, yo, that shit, that's crazy. Like,
but, you know what? No, it's just not what, you know, I'm not considered to speak, you know, but it's a lot of selective movements that goes on in this world, whether it's vaccines and selective help or selective punishments, this, that, and the other.
It's called sleight of hand, bro.
Let me tell you
how
something.
it is. Say it how it is.
You know, Muammar Gaddafi was cooked when he tried to make a dinar currency. He was cooked.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole Arab Spring, all of that was mighty coincidental.
Hey. You're trying to make what now?
Yeah.
You're gonna do it how? Oh, that's what's up.
And look,
let me talk to you for a minute.
And look, remember, we're old enough to remember when the U.S. was on Gaddafi's dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're old enough to remember when they used to say all nice things about him, and then all of a sudden,
we killed his daughter. We've done bomb to kill his daughter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
All it took was the president to get into office.
Shit.
Nah, fuck that dude.
Were we old enough when they were praising Saddam Hussein?
Yes,
I believe so. I believe so. Yes,
I believe.
I
believe we were alive when he was a CIA agent and was given some guns. Yes,
and Bin Laden.
I remember when we gave Hussein some guns.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I remember that. I feel like that's in my memory.
You want some guns?
I could be wrong, but I feel like that's in my memory.
You want some guns, guy?
And then the thing is that,
you want some?
And the thing is that he realized the fucked up shit that he got caught up in. He was like, he tried to fix it. Now all of a sudden he became the villain.
Yep.
But that happened also to Saddam Hussein too. Oh, relax, guy. I can change.
I just watched that too. I just been watching old South Park episodes of Saddam Hussein too.
Yo, that shit is hilarious. Say it.
Come on, guy.
Come on, guy. I can change.
This has been a very good
look, man. Look, it's look, like you said, it's all about money. It's all about, you know what I'm saying, flexing influence and flexing power. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We know that. We know that. You know what I'm saying? We know,
power,
like,
money, power, influence.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Money and power and powder.
and honestly, at the end of the day, they're all the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
It makes you go crazy because it's like it's the same fucking thing.
Right.
Can we get Jeremiah to sing that hook? Listen.
But look, man, but for real, like, you know, like, really though, it's amazing to live in an age where literally every person on this planet has an immense amount of power and influence at their fingertips. I mean, look at what we're doing right now. You know what I'm saying? But yet and still, with all of that influence, with all of that power, we look at motherfuckers like Joe Biden, and we look at these people like they're gonna save us. Why? Why? Like, I don't understand. Like, people are like, "Oh my God, the Supreme Court's gonna overturn Roe v. Wade." Fuck that. Fuck that.
Listen, you want to save the world? Old jokes. This is all a joke. Yo, vote for me. Then, you know, everybody that motherfucker gonna kill me because I'm gonna change. I'm gonna set the world on fire. I'll go after everybody who fuck with me, man. I'm just going after.
I'll be right back. Hold on, I'll be right back.
I'm gonna have to press the nuclear weapon. I'm gonna have that shit, yo. Let's find that elite family over there, yo. Find me where they live, yo. We get them first.
Nah, look, Look, let me tell you, I got way too many anger issues to have power. So I'm
No.
like, they should have never gave you y'all money. That's how it come with me.
Yeah. You'd be like, oh, what? So he was like, what? Putin said what? A word?
Right?
we ain't got time for propaganda and political, and we're gonna talk about it politically. No, we ain't got time for that shit.
You know what?
Edna's bullshit, man. I'm
Right.
tired of this shit, man.
Like, and it's funny with what you said earlier, man, because I was having a conversation with my cousin earlier today, and I was like, I'm starting to wonder if our country has gotten too big and the dissemination of information too broadly or too easy for us to have the kind of democracy that we have.
Mhm.
I mean, look at our government.
Mhm.
They're so split and divided. You know what I'm saying? And completely out of touch with what the rest of us are concerned with.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think that it's feasible for the two to reconcile. Like I
Right.
feel like we've gotten way too far away from what this could have been.
Mhm.
What the greatness that this country really could have been.
Mhm.
I feel like if we haven't gotten there, we're at the cusp of being way too divided to ever really be a united country.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. For me, sorry to cut you off, yo. For me, this is not United States. It's no longer the United States of America. It's the American Republic. That's what it is.
Yep.
That's all it is. Sorry to say, but this is the facts. We always look for that rising star to be the next president to save us out of these doldrums, but we don't see that. We don't have that. We're going between Sleepy Joe and tyrannical Trump. You know what I'm saying? We have slim pickings, but we got to go with the pickings that makes us money. You know what I'm saying? For me personally, let's bring back JoeyG into the frame. For me personally, Joe Biden and his mandate laws has cost me money out of my pocket.
Mhm.
The governor of New York. You think I'm gonna vote for her demonic ass? No. I'm gonna vote for. Go ahead.
Can I say we voted for Obama, and I felt like Obama was a good form of change in the office. I felt like, yeah, we'll give him a chance to see what he was capable of doing. When he was stonewalled on a lot of different things that he tried to do in there, we understood that, well, not everybody understood, but those who were paying attention understood that he was limited to his predecessors that came before him as far as the presidency and those who were still in office as far as
Mhm.
the Republican Party was concerned, holding back certain things. And I'm pretty sure there were some Democrats that were holding back some bills and things of that nature as well. Let's
Mhm.
not hold a candle to them and say they're fucking innocent because they're not. They're not.
Mhm.
Oh, absolutely.
Um, you know what I'm saying? Democrats have been doing dirt since before the Republicans became a party and were they were the bad guys. They were the original bad guys before we started pointing fingers at the Republican Party who tried to change things on their end. And yes,
Mhm.
after a certain period of time, we have people in a position of power that want to see their influence um, dictated. So we get Joe Biden in office as a vice president. He was in the Senate for I don't know how many years. He was right there with what's his name, Bernie Sanders, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
He was right there with Bernie Sanders. They understand each other's points of views and how to move forward and everything like that. But they chose Joe Biden over Bernie Sanders because he was a safer option. He was the one they can actually go to and talk to and negotiate with. Nobody really paid attention to that political debate and how he was running his campaign. He said he was able to talk to both sides and negotiate a deal
Mm-hmm.
because he understands all of that. He's willing to play the game with the people. He knows how to play the game. He knows what people want. He's been in there so long. He has favors that we can make this work.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
The main obstacle that they had was having Trump in office. Trump was a loose cannon. He wasn't somebody you can control. Trump, we need you to do this. Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm going to go this way. He wasn't somebody you can control in that environment, and he would go off cusp, off of what he felt. And he would say it, and we would just be like, oh, shit. Like, that's how you feel?
Mm-hmm.
Now we get Joe Biden in there, and he's trying to appease. He's trying to appease because he's trying to make deals and everything like that. As he's getting older, his age is starting to show
Mhm.
because he's not as quick as he used to be.
Mhm.
He's not as quick as he used to be and everything like that. So yeah, he's deteriorating. Let's get that out of the way. We know he's not going to make it to the next term. We know that already. We know there's a possibility of Trump coming back into office if they don't find a replacement for him that's probably going to be just as, or if not, the same as him coming into office. We don't have a Democrat that we can actually back that is going to make any type of difference that I can see in the foreseeable future. We don't have that. All I could see is another Republican in office, and that Republican is probably going to emulate something that Trump was on a softer scale. They can't put Trump back in office because if they put him back in office, now you got chaos because we can't control him. We can't say, Trump, we need you to do this. This is the game plan. This is how we're going to run. He's not going to run with that. And especially after he lost the last election, he's going to come in showing his ass.
Right.
He's coming in. He's going to come in like a raging renegade, a raging mercenary. You don't want people like that. They don't want someone like that.
You don't want that. Now, regardless of what the Republican Party may think, and they were backing him before, and they didn't want to give him the allegations of the freaking Capitol riot, which to this day I don't know how he wasn't arrested, but I'm gonna move past that because you incited that.
Right.
Go ahead.
But everything you just said though, Joey, is kind of proves the point that I was trying to make to Dom, a second ago, which is we're so, the country is so divided politically. We're completely opposed. We're like on complete opposite sides on literally like every topic imaginable. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And the independent party is non-existent. Right. I don't care if you are independent or not. It's non-existent. The voice of the independent party is non-existent.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing about it is, when you look at Obama being elected, right? It's like, Democrats everywhere were like, it's a breath of fresh air. This is all great. And then, but we all knew that Republicans were going to throw everything they could up at him. Like we were like, okay, we'll deal with that. But in speaking to my point, it's like, look at what the response to Obama was.
Right.
The response to him was Tea Party and fucking Donald Trump.
Somebody like that somebody from New York.
Right.
That we don't claim. We don't claim him.
But here's what I'm saying though. Like, here's what I'm saying. Like, just think about this for a second. The Republican response, the response that the party as a whole had was Donald fucking Trump. Donald Trump, a person who's a known liar, you know what I'm saying? A known shyster, you know what I'm saying? Everybody knows this.
Right.
Excuse me.
Even other
this
countries.
Was their response. This was the extreme that they came back. Like, To them, Obama was such an extreme that Donald fucking Trump
Right.
was what they responded with.
Right.
Like, it doesn't get better from that. You don't go Bush fucking Trump and then it gets
Right.
better. Like, it doesn't get better.
No.
You know what
No.
I'm saying? Like, we're never going to get better. A precedent was set with when Donald Trump became
Right.
president of the United States.
It's over. There's no rising star to become the next president. There's no rising star.
Right.
Game over.
James, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna let you know right now. When Trump was in office, about his second term, I was like, yo, Bush wasn't really that bad though.
Son, you know it's bad. You know it's bad when people are looking fondly at
yo, Bush wasn't that bad, son. You know what I mean?
Yo, when you can look, I'm serious. When you can look when you can look back at the stuff that George W. Bush said and say, you know, the stuff he said wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
And here's the thing: Republicans as a party, they still have not figured out how to combat Trump. None of them like him. None of the Republican leaders like him.
No,
but they don't know how to deal with what he did to the party.
Nope.
And that says a lot. Like that, and that's like what I'm speaking to is where are we as a country when Donald fucking Trump can't be topped in your party?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I would go with somebody else, but
we've gone past the point where we can expect going to the fucking ballot box is gonna fucking fix this, bro. Like,
right? No,
I mean, I hate to be that guy, like because a long time ago I wouldn't have been this guy. You know what I'm saying? I've never believed in voting, like I've never believed in it, but
right.
I'm now of a solid mind that there's no way that this is gonna be fixed there.
No,
it can't be. It can't be. Our government has proven that they are incapable of fixing this.
Yes. They
are incapable of it. They don't have the ability to fix it.
They don't have the means either.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the shit that's important to them, they can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no way that they can fix it with the priorities being the way they are. It's impossible.
I'm gonna make you laugh real quick. Elon Musk has the right idea. Nigga, fuck this. We starting over.
Look, bro, I don't even want to get started on the fact that corporate America is who really runs this country. Like that's really what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's why our government is so ineffective. It's because they don't really run anything. They don't really do shit.
I'm just gonna put the four up. We already know.
That's all they do.
I'm gonna put the four because we already know. We already know the four pillars. We already know the four pillars. It's there.
Corporate
if you don't
American
know research, I ain't telling y'all.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta have my guy AZ join us on this podcast. So when we do talk about that, that'd be one hell of a podcast. You know, I'll tell you that. I'm gonna text him right after we get off this podcast. I'm gonna text him right now. Get him on there on the podcast.
Because really, again, actually, that's really what it is. You follow the money.
We should have had him on too.
Listen, we were on. We tell you my man AZ. We worked together. We used to work together at the hospital, man. We were on. We did the IG live for 2 hours straight, and I was pissed off. Yeah, we were going in. We were going in on the politics at the hospital, the politics of the system, and all that shit. We probably went everything, the vaccines, everything. We went deep. I was like, bro, you need to chill out, bro. You're gonna be a nurse, man. You're gonna be a nurse. Chill. No, he kept on going. But it was a great conversation. And the thing is, though, I just wish it's a way that we could record a podcast and I'm able to stream it 3 times. Because I think people need to see the podcast 3 times.
Right.
3 times. Because you're not going to catch the first time to catch the second time. You catch the third time, you caught all the gist of what the podcast is about. Right. And that's the most important thing. As far as the situation with the abortion rights, if Roe V Wade is not hurting anybody, but just leave it alone. This is not the time. It's not the time to all of a sudden reverse something that's been there for almost 30, 40 years. was in the 1970s to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like you said, James, the safety of it is where we at, like you said, the hot hanger. We don't want that to happen.
No, that vision that he's talking about, I've had that in my mind for years.
Mm-hmm.
I've had that vision in my mind for years. There's more to that story because I've had a added couple of incidents in my life, but that one burns the most.
I've had incidents in my life in regards to abortion myself, so it's not even I've been there. But by the same token, who am I? Who am I?
Walking, and I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more, just to be the man. it wasn't. I understand where you're coming from, Dom, and I'm not taking that away from you, but that's in that spirit. That's where I was at the time, bro.
Yeah. And the thing is too, it's I'm all for people having to be in the position to make their own decisions. You know what I'm saying? I'm just that type of guy. Because the minute someone takes away the minute someone takes away your ability to make your own decision, that's when you're in essence in prison.
It's a problem.
You know what I'm saying?
This is if the military was running that aspect, as far as you're talking about, and people had the freedom to move about the way they wanted to, we wouldn't win wars.
You're right. I understand the discipline part. I understand discipline. Don't get me wrong.
I understand. I understand where you're coming from. I'm just giving you that. I have to put it out there because there's a lot of people that just take your word for it and they roll with that. But see it from the other side as well, though. See it from the other side. There's a place and time for discipline, and it's effective in certain situations. We need that for certain situations, but to control everything, it doesn't work all the time.
Right. Somebody told my father. He always spoke about discipline. I told him. I looked at him straight in his face. I said, "Listen, when there is too much discipline, there is no discipline."
Right. There's revolt.
Yeah. So I understand. That's why I understand you, Joe, when you mentioned that. It brought to light a lot of our conversation I had with him was because of that. He was too stringent with his discipline as far as walking that thin line, that thin straight line.
Right.
And that's where I was revolted. That's how I was going. I was rebelling against him because a lot of things you got to trust me.
Right.
You got to give somebody a level of trust in order for them to execute the plan.
Right.
When you're stuck on the discipline, that person may get fed up with you and not execute the plan out of spite towards you, instead of them allowing them to grow and instead of you allowing them to grow the trust in you, grow the trust between each other to make things work. Right. And that's in essence is the issue here, not just with the Roe V Wade, it's the mandates with the vaccination, stuff like that.
Everything.
The reason why these things are happening is people are not trusted to do the right thing.
No. We
don't know how to cover our mouths when we're in a subway or in a train. We blow our nose on someone else, and we look at that person sideways because we think, "Why are you looking at me for?" Motherfucker, cover your fucking mouth. When you come out the bathroom, wash your fucking hands.
Right. I shouldn't have to tell you that. That should be automatic.
Right.
Shit, there's some people you still got to tell them to close the light after they leave the bathroom. But that's another story to hit on there. But
or wear a mask.
Yeah.
I have them around here. They're around here.
I mean, something that's. I mean, even that simple. But I mean, it's like you just said, Dom. Like people have just repeatedly shown that they can't be trusted.
I ain't doing shit. I ain't wearing shit.
You want to know something? You want to know some real talk, yo? I was when I used to work up in the hospital up in the North Shore. I'm not going to name the city. When I worked in the North Shore, I was in a 7-Eleven. This kid came in. The same kid came in. He's like, "Oh, no!" When the guy was telling me you need to wear a mask when you're in the 7-Eleven, He said, "It's no fucking law that I gotta wear a mask." Cuomo didn't sign that shit to law. First of all, Cuomo did put in an emergency order for that. First of all, this kid, you know, I'm gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you what his race is, but people who talk like that, you already know what their race is.
Fuck you, guy.
You know what I'm saying? Lo and behold, guys, 3 weeks later, he comes to the ER with COVID and dies in the ICU. Think about. I remember that kid's face when he came in. I remember that kid's face when I was in the same 7-Eleven during my lunch break, my dinner break, whatever you want to call it.
How old would you guess that kid was?
No, I know exactly how old he was. I'm not gonna say the exact age, but he's below 30.
Below 30?
Below 30.
Joe, that's why, just as far as the whole old people dying conspiracy theory, that's the only reason why I'm like, on population control. Because it hits everybody. They thought it was only going to hit old people, and then it ended up hitting everybody.
Well,
but you understand the point as a whole.
Absolutely.
You understand as a whole.
Absolutely. And again, you know, I'm black. So, you know what I'm saying? Being a black man in America, there's no way I cannot understand those ramifications. You know what I'm saying?
You understand it as a whole. That was the point. That was my point.
Yeah, I completely get it. You know what I'm saying? I think for me, it was, and again, this is all just me personally. It just didn't seem logical to me. You know what I'm saying? Now, like in current times right now, it just didn't seem logical. And that was, I guess, my rationalization on, fuck it, I'm gonna get it. You know what I'm saying?
No,
when the VA was offering it, I was like, I bet. You know what I'm saying? When the booster came out, I bet. You know, I looked at it like, is it gonna kill me? No. You know what I'm saying? And again, I guess being in the military too, you get so used to being injected with shit and you don't know what it is.
Listen, I got uncles to this day. They
came told me I got the flu shot like 3 times, son. This is the same day.
Because my uncle was telling me in the 60s, they came out with a big ass needle and it was like
Dom, when I was in boot, there was one line, you got 3. You got 2 in each arm, and then you step forward and got another one. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And do we know what them shits was? Absolutely not. No fucking idea.
I know, it was a gun. It wasn't a needle. It wasn't a needle. It was a gun.
Let me tell you something. Y'all probably got the Ebola vaccine. I know that much. You probably got the Ebola vaccine. That's why you always go to Africa. Ebola ain't gonna affect y'all.
Possibly. Look, I know they gave us the anthrax one. I know we definitely got that because I remember that one. That was sucked.
Hold up. Let me ask you a question though. Is the anthrax vaccine approved by the FDA?
I have no idea.
We have no idea.
I promise I have no idea.
Don't think so.
Dumb. I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know right now.
There's a vaccine for tuberculosis.
Listen.
It's not approved by the FDA.
Listen. It does not matter. Once we sit there and put our hands up and say, I, blah, 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 blah.
I know.
Constitution, blah, blah, blah. Blah blah blah.
Because yo, like literally, Dom, like literally, the way it goes is, y'all will all be sitting somewhere, not doing shit. You just sitting around. You're not in formation or nothing. You just sitting around, and they'll be like, you, and you go to medical. You be like, what? Just go. and then they be like, yo, we got to stick you with this shit. You be like, what is that? You be like, don't worry about it. What?
I bet you before.
No, you'll be fine.
Let me press up. If they stick me with that genome vaccine or the super soldier Captain America vaccine, yo, I'm all there. Come here. Give it to me now.
Look, I can guarantee you they never gave us that shit because I still can't run long distances. I couldn't do it in high school. I couldn't do it in the Marine Corps, and I can't do it now.
It'll be game over.
It's talking about on your left.
Right?
You still running
on your left.
I'm like, go ahead, nigga. Go ahead.
Listen.
For
They ain't
real.
gonna give no one no damn super. Especially they ain't gonna give no damn black man super soldier serum. Period. Because you give a black man super soldier serum, he be God. So
Yeah,
okay.
matter of fact, like, I know we straying way hard, but
Yeah.
did y'all see Captain America and the Winter Soldier?
I just watched it yesterday on Fox.
You watched the whole bro, that episode with Carl Lumley, when he was playing the black, he was like they had injected him with the super soldier serum like back in the days, and they just let him go, and he was like, I was a black man that did da. He was like, what was they gonna do? He was like, they put me in prison. You know, it was that whole episode was so fucking powerful. Like I was holding tears back at the end. I was just like, oh, these niggas here.
I will say that. I will say this though. Falcon of Winter Soldier was underrated series. Very underrated series.
Absolutely.
It was good.
It was probably one of the best.
Absolutely. But come on, you know how it is, man. Anytime somebody takes something that's beloved and starts and uses that to like face real issues, that's what America be like, nah, what y'all doing?
That ain't gonna happen.
Talk about this. Nah.
Then
what are you doing?
Hey, then they hit us with the okie dokes. Here's Kim Kardashian. Here's Kanye West.
Right.
Let me shuffle that around for you.
Kanye West with his rubber boots dancing.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Kanye West, however you want to look at him, the man is telling you something that he sees in his perspective. He is a genius, but I feel like he has Tourette's.
Nah, man. Look. Here's the thing behind
Hold
Kanye
on.
West.
Let me
real quick. I'm gonna give y'all. Look, I'm gonna give y'all the exact key. I'm gonna give y'all the exact key to understanding Kanye West. All right. Mm-hmm. Kanye West is that smart dude in the hood that nobody in his crew ever stepped up and was like, yo, son, what the fuck are you talking about? That's who Kanye West is. I can't front. Like, there's times that Kanye West has said some shit that was just like, yeah, for real, this nigga's on point. But I promise you, he's that cat that once he got famous and once he really blew up and the ego got out of control, the people that was in his corner, actually his mama, that was like, yo, what's the matter with you? When she died, that was it. There was nobody else in his corner that was like, yo, son, what are you talking about, son? Like, you sound stupid right now. Stop. There's nobody in his corner like that. You know what I'm saying? And so whatever hits his mind to say and do, he just goes with it. You know what I'm saying?
He does.
That's what it is. So that's what it is. People try to make it seem like Kanye West is some super out there. Nah, man. He that same dude the same dude in the hood that usually got great ideas, but every now and then they say some wild shit out their ass, and you gotta be like, son, that was dumb. And then they be like, yeah, you're right. That was stupid. He ain't got that person to be like, yo, that was stupid. He ain't got that person. No, that person died. That was his mama. She died, and now there's nobody. And so whatever wild thing he decided to say and do, he do. And that's thrown in with the things that he say and do that makes sense. And it's sad. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate.
It's sad.
You know?
So you do. And as we say, we got to end the podcast right now, fellas. It's been beautiful. Having James on the podcast. Of course, JoeyG, of course. Definitely.
You mean it's over?
Listen, it don't have to be over. It don't have to be over.
It's never over. It's never over.
As a matter of fact,
we're gonna take a commercial break.
We can do that. I'm gonna start rolling back up, bro. We can do that.
Listen,
I'm definitely down to keep going.
If you guys could want, we could do a live part 2 with a female guest host that's going to be joining us, and hopefully I can get my man AZ on the podcast as well. Let's get it.
I'm with it.
Let's get it.
I'm with it.
So you know what I'm saying?
You see me, I'm popping.
You know what I'm saying? It'll be a first. People will be like, yo, damn, we haven't seen TruPlayaz podcast in a while, but now they're hitting us up with like 5 episodes in one day. Listen, this is what we do.
Yo, Dom, so this is live on IG right now?
It's live on Facebook and YouTube.
Facebook and YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, Facebook and YouTube is live there. I'm also working on different platforms where it could be live on there too. But one step at a time. I'm in like inundated with mad stuff right now. Plus, I'm a little bit under the weather. You know what I'm saying? No COVID though, but I'm good. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, last night was a struggle. I was recording a few episodes. It was a struggle. JoeyG was there. I was struggling. I was blowing my nose in the pocket.
Yeah, brother. Gotta take care of yourself, brother.
Yes, and it's blessed that I had took some time off from work for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And just to re-energize and refocus. That's what I needed.
Make it happen, Captain.
Yes, sir. We'll wait for James to come back and give his final words. If any, we possibly will be back at 8:30 for part 2 of this. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned.
8:30. Okay.
8:30 tonight. If I'm able to get our lovely female co-host to join us at 8:30, part 2 will happen, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely. I am definitely with it. Look, thank you absolutely 100% for having me, so far for the part 1.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Great convo as I knew it would be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
So as a matter of fact, we know the people don't know we're still gonna be chattering after the podcast is over, but you guys
definitely.
Won't see the chatter. Y'all won't see the chatter.
Definitely.
You ain't gonna see the chatter. We talk about real shit. It may cross some lines, may offend people we offline, but you know what it is. If we can live in a world where people are not take things too seriously and too personal, understand the value of what we're trying to explain to people, this world will definitely be a better place for everybody.
Listen, we gotta understand everybody's point of view. We can't live off of our own point of views, period, because that is not the way to live. We gotta understand what other people are thinking, understand how they're moving, and generate a thought process that understands, hey, he may not be thinking like I am, or she may not be thinking like I am, but I'm going to keep it moving while I understand that and know how to move around that. That's the way it should be. It should be like that. When we were growing up, we had many different points of views and aspects as far as life was concerned. As we grew older, some of them were bullshit. Other ones were where we needed to be, what I'm saying, where we needed to go. So we took them into perspective and we utilized them in our lives. We're here today. We're still living. We're all healthy. Mm-hmm. So some of those things that people said to us actually helped us in our lives. Go figure. You know what I'm saying? So when we go to I'm gonna bring it back. If we go to an auditorium and we're supposed to see a motivational speaker, and that motivational speaker says, by the age of 25, a lot of you won't be here. You know what I'm saying? We've passed that mark. We superseded that mark, and we're moving forward. We're actually creating new generations. We're actually interacting with other people and creating new bonds and networking with other people and being in the world and active. Our voices are starting to be known. Our voices do have meaning. So everything that we say and we generate as far as the podcast is concerned, and just in the day-to-day to life, I feel is important. It's important.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's certain people that are restricted in their thought process where they're not going to agree with us, but everybody has an opinion. It's valid. I may not agree with a Trump supporter, but at the same time, I respect your choice to choose what you chose, and I just have to leave it at that. I don't have to agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to agree with you. And I wrestle with this so bad. I'm like, oh, why can't you see it from my way? Because it's not your way. And I get that. I had to let that go. And at some point, that's how growth happens. We have to let certain things grow and understand your growth process may be at a different stage than mine.
Right.
This is why when we have situations that pop off and things like that, I don't dwell on them because you're not at the stage where you're in that growth process. So I'm gonna have to move on from that.
I
And
think
the only thing I could do is give you the tools, and we move forward. Period.
know what I think too, guys, is that I think we lost our ability, our ability as a society to compromise. We feel that if we compromise, we cede power, and not realize that when we compromise, we actually gain power by building trust with the other person that's providing it. Because not everybody is perfect. What holes you have, the next person you're talking to could fill that hole for you. You don't have to handle it all on your own.
True.
That's where compromise comes into play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my tidbit of nuggets I'm gonna drop today on this episode of TruPlayaz podcast.
And that's how we be living, son.
We are. We may say things. I may say things on this podcast about certain races of people that may cross the lines and stuff like that. But you have to understand that when you're a black person in the United States of America, we have been the target of negative sayings through the 400-year history of this country. You know what I'm saying? We've been attacked, we've been mutilated, we've been raped. Both men and women were raped, not just women. Both men and women. Because when you're the original race, you are the target. You know, and it's just you get fed up after a while. They ask you why you're angry. I'm like, why you keep fuck with me? This is the answer. This is the question that all black people really want to ask the privileged race. Why you keep fuck with me?
Right.
Don't stand down, though.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't stand down. Don't let the light skin fool you.
Listen.
I said, don't let the light skin fool you. I've had my run-ins. I had my run-ins, and you have to put people in their place.
Exactly. But let me explain something to you guys. Not all privileged race people derive from the black man. There's a percentage that do derive from the original race, which is the black man. Not all of them are derived from that. So we got to keep that into perspective as well.
True. So,
and you can tell by bodily features which one derive from the black man, which ones don't. So, yeah, there's some white folks who do have melanin in them too. Guarantee you. So, what else can we say before we close off this podcast? Any final words, James? Since you're the first time on this show.
No, I mean, kind of just what I've said, man. Just grateful for being on here. You know what I'm saying, and definitely looking forward to keeping the conversation going. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Hell, I may even have. I'm gonna check your prophecy.
He gives that good perspective, and then want to try to shy away from that shit.
Yeah, I drop perspective bombs. That's what I do. I'm like, boom! All right, I'm out.
If I get that Funk Master Flex bomb and put it in as a sound bite into this podcast, I would. Trust me. Trust me, I would do that.
James, drop a bomb from one of those.
Once upon a time.
I'm in perpetual mic drop mode. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to my co-host, Prophecy Black Rose. Shout out to my brother Ricky Brown, who me and JoeyG hope could return to the show back 100%, and we can.
One of the reasons I started wearing the hat.
You know what I'm
saying?
One
of the reasons.
We have everybody on the show. The original host, Ricky Brown. We got JoeyG. We got James up in here. We got Prophecy Black Rose. We got Carmine, who also been a host of the podcast. You know what I'm saying? It's just I wish everybody could be on one podcast. We could just chop it up.
We had more. There were voices. And we appreciate their voices.
We had other voices too, but they kind of disqualified themselves.
No.
Hold on. I I got to give a big shout out to my man Kyle, New York Jets, Nego Fly Zone.
Oh, definitely.
I forgot about him. My bad for that.
Oh, we forgot Down in the Den.
Oh yeah, my man Mars too. Down in the Den podcast. We gotta give a shout out. We forgetting everybody. We forgetting
right.
Two important cocks of the podcast as well.
We gotta bring them back.
We gotta bring them back on a podcast. Of course, I'm gonna have Kyle on there when we talk about NFL football. I'm gonna have him back on. Actually, I should have him on the draft recap, but we'll see what happens. But definitely. When I took on this podcast in June 27, 2018, I decided to take a chance, you know what I'm saying, on doing this podcast. I didn't know what it was going to become. Mm-hmm. It became very big quickly, but due to unforeseen circumstances, I kind of focused on, I wouldn't say I focused on the wrong thing, but I felt the timing was not right for me to focus on the other thing, especially when this podcast was about to hit that home run.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And this podcast in October 2018 was about to hit the illest home run ever. No, I'm sorry. October 2019. It was about to hit a major home run. Mm-hmm. And due to the fact that I didn't look out for myself, I looked out for other people, I sacrificed an opportunity to have this podcast on Sirius Radio. Just to build up another business. You know, granted, you know, it is what it is, but looking back on it, you know what I'm saying, it was an opportunity that I left hanging. You know what I'm saying? So I beat myself up every day because TruPlayaz podcast was a creation, was under my creation, but this is something that me and JoeyG planned from fucking 2000.
Yeah.
2000. We thought about having our own radio station and shit like that.
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
Yeah,
I remember that. I remember radio station.
Yeah,
I remember that. I remember that. Oh, what was it? It was what was the site that was on? Well, I know you probably don't want to say it on here, but yeah, we'll offline about that. But yeah,
offline because it was long. That's another long story about that too. About that person he was doing it with. So,
okay,
long story about that.
Let's
close. Yes. You can watch this podcast on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, follow me on Instagram. Instagram.com TruPlayaz Podcast. Follow me on Facebook. On Facebook page. TruPlayaz Dom, Facebook.com, TruPlayaz Dom / follow me, like my Facebook page. It's your man Big Dom. I'm signing off for JoeyG and James L.
Yeah.
Peace people. Holla. We'll see you at the next episode.
Get brighter, then bring it down hard. Someday.
What are you doing?
Dance off.